Howdy, team. Happy Thursday and happy Valentine's Day. I hope that all you're having a great day and that it's been filled with chocolates or fun stuff. And hopefully, some of you are getting a date tonight. If not tonight, sometime this weekend. Cadence and I are going out tonight. Becca and I are going out tomorrow. So we're going to have a good day over here. Guys, this is a great lesson, although I freely admit that when you first start reading the passage where they tell you to start, you're going, what is going on? They drop you in the middle of this battle that's pretty bizarre. And so my first encouragement to you is read 2 Kings chapter 18 and then all of 19. And this whole thing will make a lot more sense. And what I want you to do, take note of that both Hezekiah's good deeds and his mistakes. He does a beautiful job of cleaning house in Israel and getting rid of idols, and that's an incredible thing. But then he kind of blows it in just when the Sennacherib shows up, he's like, here, take all of our gold and all of our silver. Doesn't even give God the opportunity to defend them. Notice, it wasn't about taking gold. They were just coming for blood. As you start talking about Satan, that makes a lot more sense. But again, read chapter 18 and chapter 19. The next thing, though, is the options are both really, really good. Option number 1 is really long, but does a beautiful job of explaining the importance of God's name. Option 2 is good, much shorter. Let me just encourage it. Probably those of you working with junior high students, option 2 is for you. Those of you got high school, option 1 is good. But both of them are handy. Read through those and pick and choose what you will. But as you get into the first section, it begins to talk about Satan. And guys, I can't emphasize to you enough how important it is for students to know that Satan hates our guts. He hates them. He hates their mom. He hates their dad. He hates their little brother and sister. He hates the cute little baby down the road. He even hates people that you shouldn't hate, like Miss Suzanne in the kitchen who gives us awesome cookies. He hates our guts because we're God's kids, like all human beings, not just the people who are serving God. And so they need to understand that since Satan is ruthless with us and literally wants to destroy us, that we have to be ruthless with sin, because sin is what opens the door for Satan to come in and have his way in our lives. They've got to understand that sin and the temptations that come with that, it's a lot like a rat trap. But really, think like a giant mouse trap. And that cheese or that peanut butter or whatever it is you're using to attract rats, it looks good and it may even taste good for a little while, but that trap is going to come down, and we are literally destroying ourselves with sin. And so don't ignore that section because it's talking about Satan. Drive that point home. Satan hates you, and he will cost you dearly, far, far more than you ever want to pay. So make the point out of that. Other stuff's going on. Sennacherib is a lot like Goliath in that he is taunting not just Israel, he's taunting God's name. That was Goliath's sin. So you can reference that. They'll understand that really, really well. But bring up, I love Hezekiah literally lays his problem down at God's feet. He takes the letter in from Sennacherib and just lays it down at the altar in the temple and says, God, here it is. I need you to help me. But notice, and this is the big idea of the lesson. Make sure they get this, if nothing else. Hezekiah doesn't say, save our necks, we need your help. He says, God, save us, and when you save us, the whole world will know that you're God. His salvation wasn't just about him and his life and what was good for him. It was good for the whole world to know that you're God. And that's really where our prayers need to be based every single week. It's not that we can't bring God our problems. He wants us to bring us his problems. But really, our prayers need to be, Lord, I need your help, but I want to live a life that brings you glory. So, Father, I pray you would help me in these situations, but doing it in a way that the world would know that you're God. Do it in a way that my neighbors would know that you're God, and my friends and whoever else I'm interacting with. I want them to know that you're God. That's a big deal. So they get into the final battle scene, and there's 185 people that die like that. There is not a movie equivalent except for one scene, at least that I can think of. Because as you're talking about this battle scene, their brains are going to go to Lord of the Rings or a few others. But I would encourage you to think about Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Remember that first Indiana Jones? Indy is surrounded by people, and they're all after him. They're all in the white hoods. And then all of a sudden, all the bad guys part ways, and this guy in this like black ninja outfit pops up. And he's got the big sword, and he's swinging it. And you just think, well, this is it for Indy. All Indy's got is a whip, and he's up against 100 dudes. And that scene is so funny. You know the one where Indy just pulls out his gun and shoots the guy, and then all the bad guys run away. This is what the Lord did. The Lord, in an instant, slayed a bunch of the bad guys. Not all of them, interestingly enough, but he slayed enough of them that the king just packed up and went home and said, "Nope, not today." And this is what God did. And so it's almost anticlimactic, but it's pretty amazing. Point that out to the students. Whether you reference Indiana Jones or not isn't the point. The point is God saved the day like that, and he can do that in our lives too. Finally, look at the quote on page 62. And it's the one that just talks about the fact that God is willing to do anything, whether he's executing other people or he's executing his own son. He will do anything to advance his kingdom and saving his people. And that's what he's willing to do for us too. Guys, I love y'all. Have a great weekend. Bye.